This week, I managed to finish 2 books, and I figured we could very quickly talk about them. At the minute, I am really enjoying learning about new locations and places through the lens of literature. So I've been constantly seeking out books about places that I want to learn more about, as well as books where I'm actually going to enjoy the plot. So the first book I finished this week was Circe by Madeline Miller. Her other book, The Song of Achilles, is probably my favorite book of all time, so I was really excited to dive into this. This is obviously set in Greece, and the reason I wanted to read it is because Zach and I are going to Greece in about a month and a half, which is very exciting. This is Greece through the lens of a god. Now, I rated this one 3.5 stars out of 5. I did not enjoy it as much as Song of Achilles, but I appreciated it. Circe is a character in Greek mythology who, by what I know, is kind of a side character in a lot of different classic stories. And this book is definitely a zoomed out version of lots of different Greek stories. However, it centers the character of Circe, and it is definitely through the eyes of feminism and adventure, but also through the eyes of a god in the sense that they see the world very differently to us. I do recommend this book. I think the plot was a little bit too slow and windy for me, but it was solid. Next up, I read, well, I say read, I more mean devoured, The Woman in Suite 11 by Ruth Ware. I also gave this one 3.5 stars. It is a sequel to The Woman in Cabin 10, and this is set in various locations, but the main draw for me was Lake Geneva in Switzerland is kind of one of the main settings for this. Now, like I mentioned, I gave this book 3.5 stars. It could have been a 4 stars, but it was a few drawbacks for me. So this book is a sequel to The Woman in Cabin 10, which is one of my favorite thrillers of all time. The movie is coming out soon with Keira Knightley, and I thought this was a cash grab at first, but apparently Ruth Ware wrote it way before the movie was even kind of in production. Ruth Ware is one of my favorite thriller writers of all time, but I think this story was in 2 parts. The first one was the kind of traditional thriller, which I love, and the second half was definitely kind of like a police detective whodunit situation. Now, the one reason I'm rating this 3.5 stars is because Ruth Ware said in an interview that you don't need to read the first book to enjoy this one, and I wholeheartedly disagree. I really enjoyed the pacing, I really enjoyed the plot, although it did shift around a little bit, but the first 100 pages of this book are very, very clunky. It's quite heavy-handed.